her with the gift last week, and she'd not let it spill into the mud. She wrinkled her nose at the puddles, horse manure, and garbage that lined the road. Passing the slaughterhouse, she pinched her nose closed. How I despise this part of town. She'd begged Mavis not to move there when she and Darvid wed 1 year ago last month. Unfortunately, both Mavis and her sister's late husband earned little at the department store, where they worked in accounting. Compassion stirred in Belle's chest for her sister's plight. A month ago, Darvid had taken ill with pneumonia and died, but only after racking up a bill with the doctor to add to their other debts. Where will Mavis find the money to pay? As far as Belle knew, she had little put away for emergencies. The pittance Belle had wouldn't go far to help. Belle sighed, ashamed at how cold-hearted she'd become. Instead of thinking of her brother-in-law, who was now gone to his just rewards, she was worried about money. The lack of money is the root of all evil. Appalled at herself, she thought of her mother, dead for 15 years. I know, Mother, it's the love of money that's the root of all evil, but sometimes it doesn't feel that way at all. Scrimping by gets old. Belle's mother had been the kindest, most loving woman. At least that was what her 6-year-old self remembered. Left orphans for all intents and purposes after her death, Belle and her sisters owed everything to Vernon and Velma Crowder, friends who took their mother in after she fled their unstable father and the untamed wilderness called Eden. Her mother's death, 3 years after arriving at the Crowders, had been a shock. The couple the girls now called aunt and uncle took them in permanently, providing room, board, and even the clothes on their backs. Still, Vernon Crowder has no right to make us feel so indebted every second, Belle thought as her disgust for him surfaced. The way he flaunted his generosity like a badge of honor made them all feel like beggars. It's not right. Gathering her skirt again, Belle stepped over a wide puddle and then sidestepped a lump of refuse in her path. The bedroom she shared with her 3 younger sisters in the Crowder home was a bit less crowded since Mavis had married, and 2 years before that their guardians had moved to a more upscale area of town as well, giving them a larger bedroom, but still just one. That was something. I should work on my charity, not harbor such dislike for Vernon, try to be more grateful. She knew she should, but she hadn't after all these years. As often as the Crowders expounded on what good catches she and her sisters were, only Mavis, the eldest, had received an official offer of marriage, and that from a man who had little more than 2 nickels to rub together. Even though Belle had liked Darvid, she'd been against the marriage from the first, feeling Mavis was settling because of Velma's constant harping to accept the proposal. It had almost seemed like the Crowders wanted Mavis out in order to relieve the burden of expenses. It was understandable, she supposed. They had done so much over the years. In reality, what did Belle or any of her sisters have to offer a husband besides love? Each year, the tiny stipend their guardians gave each girl grew by only a few coins. As soon as they were out of school, each of them had found work to help pay their expenses and supplement their wardrobes. They had all long passed the age where only hand-me-downs would do. Katie was the exception. The youngest Brinkman sister had taken a loan from Uncle Vernon to attend a normal school in Massachusetts and trained to become a teacher. She'd graduated 3 months ago and was in the process of looking for a position. Finally arriving at the tall brownstone, Belle ascended the crumbling brick steps, opened the door, and proceeded to the first apartment at the back of the lobby. She rapped several times. "Who's there?" "It's me, Belle." Mavis opened the door, dressed in widow's attire. Her wavy mahogany hair was swept on top of her head, and she wore the wrist-length gloves she never went without to hide her disfigurement. Her blue, wide-set eyes gave away that she'd been crying, bringing an ache to Belle's heart. They embraced. "How are you?" Belle asked.